Hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining me again. Today's video is going to be a comparison video between two effect cymbals. We're not talking about chinas and splashes here, we're talking about the new generation, the new breed of effect cymbals. Crashes with lots of holes in them, that sort of thing. So I'm a big fan of these sort of ozone crashes and Swiss crashes and whatever the companies are calling them these days. Trash smashes, sorry, I've done it again. I love these sorts of cymbals. They're thin, they're trashy, they speak quickly. I like them. Different, cool. So one of the things I wanted to discuss was sort of the price difference between a lot of these cymbals. Now, I think Paiste have pulled a genius move in putting all of these holy effect cymbals into the PstX range, which means that they aren't too expensive. They sound great, and they're not too expensive, and they're all put together in one range of cymbals, which is really cool. So I'm going to be comparing one of the Paiste PstX 18-inch Swiss thin crash, B8 alloy. Costs about 120 quid, 120 pounds. I'm going to be comparing that to the Meinl Byzance 18-inch Dual crash cymbal. And that is over 320 pounds. So there's more than 200 pounds difference, 200 quid difference between the two of them. Meinl's a B20. And it looks cooler, I think. Paiste guy admitting that the Meinl cymbal looks cooler. What is going on? Yes, I think it looks cooler for what it's worth. Is it worth 200 pounds plus more than the Paiste? I don't think it is. But, you know, let me know what you think, because I'm going to play them both in a minute. So, yeah, huge price difference between some of these cymbals. And my sort of, what I want to discuss is, or discuss with you, get your feedback on, do you think it's worth the money? If these cymbals kind of sound similar, and they do, it's not like when you get a cheap crash and an expensive crash, or a cheap ride and an expensive ride. There's usually a big difference between those cymbals, and that's worth the money. Although there are some killer intermediate level cymbals out there as well. Some of the, the Paiste PstX7s, 505s, some of the Sabian and Zildjian mid-price ones that sound brill as well. The S line of Zildjians in particular I'm thinking of here. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So, but with cymbals like this, which are very trashy, harsh on the ear, is it worth the money? Tell me what you think. I don't think it is. Yeah. So I'm going to play them in a sec. Now, the only criticism I would have of cymbals like this is that they do break very easily. Now, nobody's actually come out and said this about these cymbals, and I'm going to say it. Being the controversial, outspoken gentleman that I am. I'm not really, I'm just telling you from my experience. Before buying, I'll do that again, before buying the PstXs, and I've been using them almost since when they came out, so 10, 15 years ago, I hadn't broken a cymbal for years. I hadn't broken a crash cymbal since I was about 11 years old. That's another video, how to hit your cymbals correctly, which I didn't when I was a kid. So I broke a couple of cheap crashes when I was sort of 8 or 9 years old, and I've not cracked one for nearly 40 years. Do the math. But the PstX range, I've managed to crack 3 of them, maybe 4, in the last 3 or 4 years. Now I do play them a lot, but I think the issue is here fundamentally is that cymbals with lots of holes in them, and they all tend to crack in the same place. These are major areas of weakness, and they all tend to crack around the circles, not on the edge like you would with a crash cymbal. They crack in the circle, so they're areas of weakness. It's not because the Paistes are a little bit cheaper. I've got a mate of mine who uses the K series Zildjian EFX with lots of holes in it, 18-inch, and he cracked his in a couple of months. So bear that in mind when you think about buying this sort of cymbal. Even with a gentle touch, over time they're going to develop cracks. But again, the Paistes aren't too expensive, so that's not the end of the world. Whereas if I crack the Meinl one, I'd be absolutely mortified. So yeah. Anyway, trashy cymbals with holes in them. I love them. I'm going to compare the two now. One's inexpensive, one is very expensive. Let me know what you think, which ones you prefer. I'm not going to say anything, they're all lovely. And they're all just as nice as each other in different ways. But let me know what you think. Thanks very much for watching, as always, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers. This is what the cymbals sound like.